I am standing inside the world-famous Shrine of the Book exhibition at the Israel Museum, a building and an installation built in the 1960s after the Dead Sea Scrolls were found in a cave in Qumran in southern Israel in the 1940s. And it is my pleasure to be joined by Dr. Adolfo Reutemann, who is the director and curator of the Shrine of the Book. Thank you for having us.
My pleasure.
So when we hear about the Dead Sea Scrolls, everybody knows the words Dead Sea Scrolls, but not everybody knows what they are. Please explain what they are.
Okay, the Dead Sea Scrolls are very ancient Jewish manuscripts, actually running from the middle of 3rd century BCE to 50 through the middle of 1st century CE. So we have more or less 300 years of manuscripts discovered in 11 caves in the area of Qumran. Qumran is located on the northwestern shore of the Dead Sea, 40 kilometers east from Jerusalem. And the Dead Sea Scrolls are a real landmark in modern study of Judaism and Christianity, a kind of a turning point in the history of research. Because for the first time in history, we have original writings coming from the time of Jesus, from Second Temple Judaism.
Now, talk about the Isaiah scroll itself, because this is really, really a miracle that this was found intact.
This is the Mona Lisa.
The Mona Lisa, yes. Explain it.
The reason why the Dead Sea Scrolls are so famous is because among the thousands of fragments discovered in the 11 caves, 1/4 of the materials are biblical manuscripts, I mean the Hebrew Bible. In Qumran we discovered copies of all the biblical books except for the book of Esther and the book of Nehemiah, more or less 200 manuscripts, but only one manuscript is a full version of a biblical book. The Great Isaiah Scroll coming from Cave 1 was written, I mean the physical document, between 120 and 100 BCE, so it's coming from the time of the Maccabees, and it's a full version of the book of Isaiah, the great prophet of Israel.
Wow.
So all the 66 chapters of the book of Isaiah we have in our modern Bibles are contained in these scrolls, the second largest scroll discovered among the Qumran scrolls.
Wow. Now the Isaiah scrolls in particular, again, getting back to, this dating back to early beginnings of Christianity before Talmudic Judaism, the Christian world believes very much in the prophecies of Isaiah, as do the Jewish people. So what is it that's so notable and why it's so important, even to the Christian world in what it, as it began early Christianity, this time of where...
So the fact that the prophet Isaiah became so famous is because in Qumran, for example, this is just one out of the 21st copies of Isaiah discovered. So it's the most famous prophet discovered among the scrolls, is the oft-quoted prophet in the scrolls is the Isaiah, and exactly the same literary phenomenon we have in the New Testament writings. The most popular prophet is Isaiah. And the reason for that is because the prophet Isaiah was believed in Second Temple Judaism as the prophet who knew the secrets of the Messianic kingdom. And being the case that groups like the first Christians, the followers of John the Baptist and Jesus, and people like the Qumran community, they were waiting for the Messianic kingdom. For them, actually, Isaiah was the key document.
Dr. Reutemann, thank you so much for this very educational interview. And we'll be back for more, I promise.
I hope so.
And don't go anywhere, because we'll be back with much more from the Israel Museum right after the break.